Good morning to the YouCanDo group. I just want to share a quick update with you guys. I know there's been a lot of confusion around what's happening in the YouCanDo group, and I just wanted to clarify a few things. The group itself is not going away. We're going to maintain that the best we can. There is some changes, and part of those changes revolve around my own time constraints and my desire to help more people and to serve more people and to really make a difference from the social media standpoint and personal branding, because I see a lot of things every week when I do the Share the Love events, whether it's your Facebook profile or whether it's your blog. I see so many things and I'm like, I could help those people. I know I can help them. And when the group first started, my goal was to provide a community of people where we could connect and share and support one another. And I think we've done that very beautifully. But it's grown much larger than what I anticipated. I mean, I was thinking maybe we'd have 50, 100 people in the group, and we're pushing 1,000 people now. And it is, I could spend hours in the group daily answering questions and addressing things that I see, and I just can't do that. I just don't have enough time. And I'm getting so many requests for personal coaching. I do a lot of personal coaching, one-on-one coaching with people, and while I love it, it's my heart. It has become it's a time constraint for me. So how can I help more people ultimately was my goal. So when I started reviewing options, what are my options, how can I do more, the coaching platform evolved, and the thought process behind it and making it happen has where I'm at now. I want to share my why, really. I mean, I shared briefly, but my bigger why, I have clients, corporate clients that are generating a six-figure income for me right now, and I could continue down that road. I could generate more corporate clients, and that's exactly how I built my first $1 million business, was off of the back of corporate clients. And while that's great, those people are not in a position of going home and being concerned about feeding their families. There are people that are listening to me right now who an extra $500 a month would make a difference in their world. That's the type of person that I am interested in helping. When I get to the pearly gates, I want to say that I have used everything God has given me to help other people, to make an impact. And while I can do that from the corporate standpoint, most assuredly, I mean, I'm helping their businesses, no doubt about it. But the small entrepreneur, the mompreneur, the small business owner, those are the people that I am most interested in helping, because they're the ones who need my services and my skill set more than a corporate client who can readily afford to pay me six figures. So that's my why. And I want to share my story with you, two stories actually, my own getting started story and my personal coaching story. When I started years ago, almost 20 years ago, my oldest son is almost 21, and I was on a very different path. My husband was in the military. He's retired military. And at the time we were high school sweethearts, so, which is saying a lot in and of itself. But we, he went in the military right out of high school. I went to college, and we maintained our relationship and ultimately got married. And we were living the dream, a young couple dream. We had our own little new car, or I had a car, he had a truck. We bought a new home. I remember, it was like a 1,200 square foot home. Just, we were on top of the world. We were finishing our educations. We had the spare money to do what we needed to do. Nothing elaborate. I mean, we weren't, rolling in the dough by any means, but we were a young couple who were fine, financially. And we decided to get married. I mean, we decided to have a child, and I was 26 when Tyler was born. And I had big plans. I was 6 months pregnant when I walked across the stage to receive my diploma for my BS degree. And I say that BS degree because ultimately it's turned out to be just that. I mean, I have it. I'm not knocking education. I actually have a master's degree. But both of those pieces of paper I have not used to earn 1 red cent. And I'm a big proponent of education because it gives you options, and I'm not knocking education. So if, for example, today my social media business went down the drain, I could go to the local community college and get a job, more than likely, teaching some sort of a class. And that's because I do have the education. So it does give me options, and I'm not knocking education by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just sharing that the time and effort that I've put into my education has not created an income for me. But I kind of digress there. The moment Tyler was born, my total focus changed. I was, on a path to law school, and I had much larger plans for myself. And and those of you who are mothers will get this, they laid him in my arms, and my whole world shifted. I mean, literally, at that moment, I knew that I could not follow the path I'd laid out for myself. He was now my path, and my total focus. So I quit my job, and I was a paralegal at the time. I quit my job, and we went from 2 incomes to 1. Thinking, again, young couple, we had no experience with this. We thought, oh yeah, we can do this. It quickly became a problem. It's hard to adjust to from going from 2 incomes to 1, and doing without things that you've had previously, all those things. And as a young couple, we didn't have that knowledge base to make better decisions. And so we quickly amassed a lot of debt, using our credit cards, paying, I call it borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, using one credit card to pay the payment on another, that kind of thing. And so I was like, what can I do? What can I do to generate an income, and without leaving my son? So I decided to start looking online, seeing what kind of home-based business I could generate. And at that time, there was no resources. I mean, that was 20 years ago. There was AOL, CompuServe, Earthlink, just a few, and all dial-ups, and I struggled. I struggled for probably in excess of 5 years teaching myself. When I started, I couldn't even cut and paste. I spent hours on B2B boards writing down email addresses on postcards so that I could email people to see if they would be interested in today's world, that would be spam. But I was trying to connect. So I laugh and say I was doing social media before it was even called social media. And ultimately, I did build a huge business that consumed my life. There's a whole nother story behind that. I won't go into that today. But I share this with you because I have been where a lot of you are. I've been in the learning rut. I know how much time it consumes, and I want to encourage you to step out of that and get help, because there is help today. There wasn't help for me at the time. There was no coaching out there. There was no resources like there are today, and there's just a ton of opportunities for you to use your time more efficiently and get to a place where you can actually generate income. You say to yourself, well, I don't have the money. Well, you won't have the money if you continue in that mindset. Trust me, I know this firsthand. And I'm going to share my coaching story with you. When I decided to restructure my business and get back into the groove, I hired a personal coach, and a wonderful woman who has an amazing skill set. And I learned from her a ton of things, because while I knew a lot of business practices and I knew a lot about the internet, I didn't know. I struggled to find my voice because, one, all of my clients on my previous business were corporate clients that I dealt with one-on-one. So, you know, using the social media platform and, you know, becoming authentic and realizing how I could be authentic in an online environment was my challenge, and that was something I feel like I'm still learning, but I feel like I have a huge mastery over it compared to where I was. And so it took me 5 years to build, or actually close to 7 years to build a 7-figure income the first time around. The second time, with the help of a coach, I was able to generate a 6-figure income business in about 9 months. So the value of a coach is incredible, and it will make such a difference. Now, whether I'm your coach or whether you find someone else, that is going to be totally up to you. But I'm going to tell you, it will make a difference for you. It will make a difference for your business. And ultimately, it's going to make a difference for your family, which is why we're doing this. That's why we, you know, whether we're a mompreneur or whether we're a stay-at-home dad or whether we just want to replace our incomes and get out of the rut of our job, we are trying to build a business that generates income. That's the bottom line. And you have to spend money to sometimes to generate that knowledge level and get over the hump of where you are. And whether it's me or someone else, I want to encourage you to at least consider this and consider hiring a coach. I am stepping out of my comfort zone with a coaching platform. You know, I could continue, you know, with my corporate clients, and I am continuing, obviously, to keep a number of corporate clients. But when I was recently named, and most of you are aware of this, to Forbes Top 50 influencer list. And as a result of that, I had opportunities to take on a lot of additional corporate clients. And I've turned them away. And ultimately, my reasoning behind that is because, again, I know there's so many of you that I can help. And that is, I think, that is definitely where my heart is, and ultimately why I've decided to do this. So I am launching a coaching platform. It will be released to the public on Monday, and it's quite a few levels. I'm going to start with just outlining the YouCanDo inner circle. Essentially, that's going to be very similar to what you are already seeing in the YouCanDo group. We're going to have the daily Share the Love events, a number of other things. I'm going to do videos, a lot more hands-on training with you guys, and I'm going to build a super fan mentality there, and we're already seeing it. When I say super fan mentality, I mean a network of people who can share and comment and you know, tweet, whatever the case is, that on a daily basis, you know, where we can connect and support each other's businesses and ultimately help each other thrive. Because there is, the goal of any good coach is to have her students rise above her. That is my goal. That is my ultimate goal, for people to succeed in whatever their niche is and build a business, a thriving business that will generate an income for them. And so the inner circle is going to be, it's going to have additional features that you're currently used to. I mean, it's going to have some of the features that you're currently used to, and additional features that will help you more on a one-on-one basis. Now, I am offering a reduced rate to any of the YouCanDo group members through Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that rate is $47 a month, and the general public, anyone outside of our group, is going to be, the price is going to be $97 on a monthly basis. So I think the value is incredible. It's going to be incredible in that group. And then I have a couple of platforms, programs for at different levels, where you may be at you may consider yourself a starter. You may think, you know, wow, I've got a presence already. I just need to know how to harness it and monetize it. You know, so there's a couple of different platforms and programs that you can tap into in addition to the inner circle. Anyone who joins any of my programs will have access to the inner circle, which again I think is going to be priceless. And outside of that, I am offering an apprenticeship program. It's going to be very limited. I'm going to limit it initially to 5 people. And my goal is to recreate me, ultimately. Train people on how to build social media presences, not only for themselves, but for their client base. Share forms, basically a business in a box. Ultimately, with the ultimate goal to help someone build the opportunity to build a 6-figure income in the next 12 months. And whether you're going to be a social media manager or a content manager or a strategist, ultimately I think those things tie together and have application for every client that you're going to run into. So that's my goal, and that is my hope and wish, that I can impact your future, not only from a personal standpoint, but from a monetary standpoint. And it's not about me making money. Honestly, this is not about me. It is more about using my skill set to help you generate an income that will make a difference in your life. That is my hope and prayer, that I can use what God has given me, the skills that I've learned, and make a difference for you. And if it's not me, I pray that it'll be somebody else, and that you will take what I've said to heart and absolutely find somebody that can help you. Anyway, I hope you have a great Saturday, and I appreciate you tuning into the video. Take care. God bless.